Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about EBS, that is Elastic Block Store. Now, what is Elastic Block Store? Okay, so whenever we use computer, laptop, etc., we need some device or something for the storage, right? Whether it is hard disk, SSD, etc. So similar to that concept, whenever we will create EC2 instance, and we have seen earlier we had created Linux based EC2 instance or Windows based EC2 instance. We need something so that we can store objects to it, okay, or we can store information. Now we'll start with very basic. EBS volume is a network drive, not a physical drive, but a network drive that is attached to the EC2 instance, okay. It provides scalable high performance block storage. So it is, what kind of it is? It is a block storage. Data on EBS volume persists independently of the EC2 instance to which it is attached. So for example, if I have created EC2 instance and we have this EBS attached to EC2 instance, that means the data remains available even if you the data remains on EBS volume persist independently of the EC2 instance because it's a separate service, okay. Next is this means the data remains available even if you stop or terminate the instance. But we will see there are few chances. If you terminate the instance, EBS, right, the volume might get deleted. So there are few chances. For example, whenever we launch the EC2 instance, a default EBS is also associated with it, and at that time we have this configuration available that do we want to delete the EBS volume if while terminating the EC2 instance or not. So that is a configuration. If we say by default it's yes, but we can change it to no. So okay, you can create snapshot of EBS volumes. What is snapshot we'll discuss, but just for right now, let's understand that snapshots are nothing but backup. So on this EBS volume we are going to save some data. So we want some backup so that in case of any data recovery or some issue happens, right, we want to restore that data. So that's why we need some mechanism to for that backup, right? That is called snapshot. So we can create snapshot of EBS volumes, and these snapshots, these backups are stored in Amazon S3. We will discuss what is Amazon S3, but just consider Amazon S3 is also a feature, a service from AWS which we use for object storage. Snapshots can be used to create new EBS volumes or restore data to an existing volume. Okay, so once we create the snapshot, we can use them for restoring the, in case of any issue or in case of any data recovery is needed, we can use them, or we can also use them to create new EBS volume. So I have this EBS volume, I want to create another one. I'll just create a snapshot of this EBS volume, and then using that snapshot I will create another EBS volume. So it is like that. Okay, next point with star, EBS volume can only be attached to one EC2 instance at a time. So this is true, but there are few instances where we can attach one EBS volume to multiple EC2 instance. We will see that. So this can also happen, but yeah, generally we say that EBS volume can only be attached to one EC2 instance. Okay, next point is EBS volume support encryption. So both at rest and in transit. We will see what does that mean in rest and transit. But encryption, I think we all know, technical people, just to save the secured data, so that we want to encrypt the data, something related to security. But yeah, EBS volumes, that it supports, this service supports encryption at both at rest and in transit. While the data is being in transition, that is called transit. I'll just give a brief. And while it is just in the when it is just stored, right, not in transit mode, then it's called rest, but I will explain it. Okay, encryption can be enabled at the time of volume creation, so that is also possible, or existing volume, if it is not encrypted earlier, can also be encrypted. And there is another service from AWS that is called KMS, Key Management Service, that can be used to to encrypt the data for an existing volume. Okay, EBS volume are designed for high availability and durability with the data replicated across multiple servers within the same availability zone to protect against hardware failures. So this is our availability zone, and how we distinguish, basically US East -1 is, this is the reason, but if we have alphabets ending with alphabet, then it's a availability zone. What we are saying is, within for one EC2 instance, this EBS volume is attached, but it is replicated through across with having multiple servers. So in case if there is any hardware failure for one of the server, another server, the data is already replicated, that we don't lose the data. EBS provides a range of performance options, including the ability to provision IOPS, input output operations per second, for demanding workloads. We will see it, it's just a theory. Okay, EBS volumes can be attached to any running EC2 instance within the same availability zone. Once attached, the volume behaves like a regular hard drive. Okay. So, okay, what I have shown is, we will just discuss about it. This is in the previous slide we just discussed, right? EC2 instance can only be attached to one EBS volume can only be attached to one EC2 instance at a time. But yeah, for certain volume types, and we will see the types of EBS volumes, there are multiple types like ION and IO2. We can use the multi-attach feature. So that is there to attach a single volume to multiple EC2 instances. So we have just one, we'll just create one instance of EBS volume, just one, and then we can attach it to multiple EC2 instances. That is possible. But of course, it should be in the same availability zone, and this can be useful for clustering application. We can also detach volumes from instance, making it easy to move data or relocate storage as needed. So for example, I have an EC2 instance, I have created another EBS volume, and then the data is there. I can detach it from that server, and then I can attach it to another EC2 instance. So that is possible. Size and type of an EBS volume can be changed dynamically without downtime. So for example, right now my EBS volume is of 2 GB. I want to increase it to 8 GB. So that is possible. I can change it. That is doable. That is possible. So this is one of the cloud feature, right? I want to increase the storage size. I will just increase it right away within few clicks, right? If it is like normal physical machine, for example a laptop, and I want to increase the storage, then it's a hectic task. I will go to retail shop, I will ask to change it, and then I need to take that backup first, maybe in that remote hard drive, and then I'll put it again, so that all those things will happen. Metrics monitoring is possible through AWS CloudWatch. We will discuss, this is another service from AWS CloudWatch, and there are multiple metrics. So that is also possible. For example, how many reads and write operations are happening, etc. If there is any issue happening with the volume, so that is possible. We can check that, and for troubleshooting any issue. Okay, this is the line. We should remember it always. The volume and instance must be in the same availability zone. Then only we can attach it. So if our EC2 instance is running in US East 1A region, 1A availability zone, then our EBS volume should also be in the same availability zone. Otherwise, I will not be able to attach it. Consider I have created one EBS volume in US East 1B. So, and I want to attach it to EC2 instance. I will not be able to, because I won't see this EC2 instance while I am going to attach it. I won't even see this instance at all. So that is not possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay connected.